trick that I want to show you is this. I often export the title page of any content that I'm creating into an ebook as an image. So in this case is no exception. So what I do, so there's two frames on this page. There's the frame holding the title and the author, and then there's a frame holding the colophon or the publisher name. These aren't real. These aren't styled properly because they're not real. But basically, I group these two items. So I don't know if you can see that there's a dotted line now around those. It's a Command G, or I think it's right up here. It's object group. These are groups already grouped, so I could ungroup them and then select them both again, and Command G groups them. Now they're one object, and they're treated as one object. I can't move one without the other without some difficulty, for example. So now go up to Object and Object Export Options. What I'm going to do is ask InDesign to export these two things as one image. And the way to do that is to ask it to rasterize the container. So there's a couple of options in here. Honestly, I find the language around these options under Preserve Appearance from Layout a little bit confusing. What you need to know is choosing Rasterize Container is the right option. It feels to me like rasterizing content would be the right option, but it's not. It's Rasterize Container. Okay, so I've asked InDesign to export these two items as one image, and I can control some things about that ask here. I can ask it to be a GIF or a PNG if I want. I'm going to stick with JPEG because that's going to give me a slightly smaller image. And I'll stick with 300 ppi. I could choose 150. The key thing is later after export to check to make sure that that image isn't more than 4 million pixels, because that will get your ebook rejected from Apple. And I can show you how to do that a little bit later, but that's really it. I'm rasterizing the container, I'm asking it to export as a JPEG and as 300 ppi. But that was a trick. Is that really it? No, it's not it at all. Now I've turned that into an image. I need to add some alt text, because turning that title page into an image means that that text is no longer live. And so I need to put a little bit of alt text in here. So I will do that. Title page, Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, published by Pretend Books. So this is a good way. You can use this trick for lots of things happening in your content. So if you have a diagram that you've drawn, say in Illustrator, and brought into InDesign, and it's still all its little bits and pieces, you can group all of those together and export them as one image. This is handy in a couple of different instances. So often there's 3 or 4 or sometimes even 5 logos on the copyright page. I often group those and export them as one image and then apply the alt text in that way. It's also easier to control their relationship to one another if they're as one image instead of 5. And this happens quite a bit in different kinds of content. So I don't often advocate turning text into image. In fact, most of the time, if you ask me, I will spend a lot of time trying to talk you out of that. But in the case of the title page, it's a good idea. It makes good sense here. It's preserving some of the print design for the ebook by turning it into an image, but I'm also not shortchanging print disabled readers because I'm still preserving that text in the image description. I hope you find this trick useful.